Hi everyone! Welcome to Thankful Thursday. And today, as you see from above, we are going to be talking about coffee. Is it healthy is the question that is going to get answered today. So before I dive into all of that, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. I hope you do too. I hope you have a nice bevy with you. If you're drinking coffee or tea or nothing or water, let me know below. I would love to just chill out at this time with you. And even if you're doing this on the replay, let me know that it's on replay. That's totally cool too. Time doesn't mean anything in a relationship, right? So here we are now, and whatever now moment is for you, it's perfect. So before I kind of dive into answering the question, is coffee healthy? I really just wanted us to settle into gratitude for a moment. This is our Thankful Thursday. It's really time for us to be conscious about the things that we're grateful for and to label them and announce them out loud. So when I settle into my heart for a minute and I just ask, what am I grateful for? The first thing that's bubbling up right now is I'm grateful for my nephew. He's visiting today, and so he has taken Ella out to the park, which allows me to do this, which is awesome. I'm really also grateful for deep sleeps. You guys, we've been getting such good deep sleeps over here. Tom and I got a new bed, and then so Ella got a new bed, and she's sleeping amazing. We're sleeping amazing, and that's just a really big part of health, and so that's something I'm really grateful for is the deep sleep. So those are the two main things I'm really grateful for today. I would love to know what you're grateful for. Let me know below or just say it out loud to the universe. It feels really good. And then I guess the last thing I'll do here is maybe just introduce myself to anybody who might be watching this and you not know me. So you guys, hello, welcome. My name is Brittany Shawley. I am a mom. I am a divine mind coach. I love food and love cooking, and I am a founder of Whole and Healthy Kitchen. So I help you to enhance the thoughts you think and also the meals you make so that you can ultimately nourish yourself, your family, and then future generations, right? As we heal and become healthy and happy inside ourselves, we can extend it to our families and ultimately our world, and that's our big goal together. So thank you for being here with me today. I always love coming live with you guys. So you know what? Let's just dive into it, right? Is coffee healthy? And the more I started asking myself this question, the more I realized that it really just depends. That's the answer in short form. It just depends. And the more I started thinking about it, I realized that what matters the most about coffee, and we'll get into the specifics of the good and the bad stuff, but as an overarching theme, I've realized that what matters about coffee is the purpose that it has for you. Okay, so let's start with how I see coffee and what the purpose has been for me. For me, coffee has always been something that is synonymous with connection. It is my way to connect with my morning. It's my way to connect with myself. I use it as part of my quiet time, or I use it when I read books, or I use it as a moment of stillness. It's also synonymous with me for community. Ever since I was really young, me and my girlfriends would go out for coffee dates, and those coffee dates are some of my best moments in my life, we really have amazing conversations. We get to just enjoy being present with each other while we have a coffee and a little snack to eat. And actually, during one of those coffee gatherings, one of my dear girlfriends mentioned to me that in the Swedish culture, they have something that is called fika, F-I-K-A. And fika basically means, I wrote it down, it's probably better that I read it. Fika means it's a concept or a state of mind, an attitude that values the importance of having coffee together. The Swedish tradition believes that you should have fika every single day because it is an opportunity of making time for friends, right? And they're seeing that friendships and coming together and conversation is so important. And so coffee or fika is a way to do that. So for me, that's how I've always seen it, that coffee is synonymous with a purpose of connection and community. If that's something that resonates with you or something that you agree with, let me know. Let me know. I would love to hear what it is for you. But the thing with coffee also, which has been in my past, I've seen it with lots of people around me who have coffee as part of their everyday life, that on the other side of it being a helpful purpose that brings us together, it also can be have another meaning. So for example, in my research, I came across a study, it was actually found in healthline.com, that shows that the Western diet provides more antioxidants through coffee versus fruits and vegetables. And when I read that, I was like, like, no bueno. Like, that's not good, right? Like, coffee is not a substitute for food. Coffee is more like a dessert, and that's how I look at it. Coffee is my dessert, and so like it's something that I really enjoy and take my time to enjoy, and it's moderation. It's, you know, 1 maximum 2 a day, no more than that, right? Whereas, you know, it seems to become so part of people's lives because we're so busy, we're going around all the time, coffee's easy, it tastes delicious, so it becomes almost like a substitute for food. And that's something we need to be conscious of, that if our purpose is to have it just so that we have more energy, or just so that, you know, I can almost not eat, or just because like that's a craving, well, that purpose is going to have to shift a little if we want it to be in alignment with health, if we want it to be only for health. So I don't want coffee to be a substitute for food. That would be a bad idea. Hi, William. Are you an hour behind? Well, you made it here on time. Welcome, welcome. Hi, everybody else who's coming in. So that's where I wanted to start, is like, what is coffee for? And for us to start questioning and contemplating, what is coffee for me, right? So that we can ensure that it's used most helpfully. So definitely wanted to start there. And also something funny. No, it's not even funny. It's just silly me, right? But when I'm thinking about the word that I just went through, a fika, right? Bringing friends together over coffee so we can share in conversation together. It's like, I fika you. I thought it was so funny. I'm like, I fika you guys. And I figured that's kind of what this could be, us gathering together and having a conversation. So if you guys want to share with me, when do you enjoy your coffee? Do you enjoy it a lot? Do you enjoy it a little? Do you prefer tea? Talk with me. So once we kind of establish like what is it for, then we can kind of break it down into 2 categories. And I'm not normally one to split things like into duality, like good and bad. I'm not like a good and bad kind of person, but I am like a helpful or not helpful kind of person. I am a kind of like, is this going to be like healing for my body, like more like medicine for my body, or is this going to like drain or dehydrate or be bad for my body? So that's something I ask. Is it helpful or not helpful to this vessel to be most optimally healthy? Oh, my brother-in-law just messaged me. Hello, Darren. I will get back to you. And so I wanted to go through that list. So first is on the side. So you seem to have had a little, I seem to have had a little cup. That's me all the time, but you better believe it. I've had a little, maybe like half of this cup, and I can feel it. Like I can feel it. But that's the thing. This is where we're going to go here, is the idea of like the column of bad. Like, when would it not be helpful for you? When would it be bad for you? And through the research and also through experience and working with clients, I find that those who have a tendency to struggle with anxiety, or if they have a tendency to struggle with depression or some like big mood swings, then coffee is not necessarily helpful for you. And the reason being is because coffee is a stimulant, just like William pointed out, right? It's a stimulant. So it's like kind of like a drug, right? So it's going to spike our energy levels. And if we already have a tendency to be spiked in like anxiety or emotion, then it can kind of not be most helpful. Let's just leave it at that, not be most helpful. So that's something that I would be conscious of, that if you struggle with those things, that coffee's probably not the best for you, and there's other substitutes. And I would love to share some of those substitutes after. And then the second thing that makes coffee bad is what you put in it. Right? So what you put into your coffee is what makes the difference, because coffee itself is not inherently bad. Coffee itself is now seen, like it's been studied like crazy beans, no pun intended with the beans, and it is literally like filled with antioxidants. And antioxidants are what help to fight against free radicals, and free radicals are basically like the toxins that we get built up in our body through the food we eat and through our environment and all of these things. So antioxidants literally almost like help the body to build a protective armor of immunity to help keep sickness away and help keep the body in its optimal healthy form. So we want antioxidants. Antioxidants is a really, really good and important thing. But when you have the antioxidant rich coffee that is then added with cream or added with sugar, that's when it goes downhill. Because cream, for the most part, unless it's like organic, free range cows, pastured animals that eat like their delicious grass, these cows are often sick and not cared for, and then that will also, like what we eat, what our food eats, we eat. It literally becomes part of our makeup. So we have to be conscious of not choosing like saturated fats such as cream or like scientifically made sweeteners like white sugar or even any sweetener at all, because then that also is going to contribute to not only the high, like the spike, but the crash, which is the low. And the crash will lead you to want more sugar, and it'll lead you to want more coffee, and it'll lead you to want more drugs. So again, it's not necessarily that the coffee beans itself are bad, but what you add into that coffee is bad. Okay, so how do you take your coffee, guys? How do you like it? Here in Canada, we have this place called Tim Hortons, and when we go, you just ask for a double-double, and everybody knows it's 2 creams, 2 sugars, right? That's just what goes down in Canada. I would love to hear what it is with you. I've shifted how I intake my coffee and what I put in my coffee, and I will talk to you about that next. Hello, you guys. Coffee calms me down. Well, if that could be possible, William, and I find for me, in a sense, it tends to calm me down, 1, because of the type of coffee I get, but B, because I use it as a time to connect, because I use it as a time to be still, and I try my darndest not to do anything when I have my coffee, that I'm just focused with my coffee. And then that means you've got breath involved, you've got presence involved, you've got just present, like being present, right? So that will calm you. So it's back to the purpose. So that's amazing. Hello, friend. I'm from Canada. We are in Ontario, Canada over here. It was raining all day, but it's warm now. So those are kind of like the main things that I plucked out that were bad. It's like if you already have like anxiety or something like that, it's not necessarily the best thing unless you're using it with the right purpose, like you, William. Or 2, adding in cream and sugar. No bueno, right? So let's move on to the side of how to make it healthy, like how to ensure that this coffee is going to optimally be healthy and helpful for your body. Okay. So the number one thing, which you guys have heard me say all the time for many other things, is the number one thing that I would do with my coffee to make sure that it's healthy for me is to bless it. Some of you might be like, that's woo, right? Like that's just woo woo. But from my experience and from what I've learned from applying the universal laws of love to my life, to my mind, to my experience for the last 11 years, is that the intentions that you have make a difference energetically in your environment and what's going on around you. So for example, I can say, like, thank you that this coffee is going to bless my body, like with the calm, centered presence that I want to have now and maintain throughout the rest of the day. Thank you that this coffee is helping me to connect with myself and to really have a good day going forward. I use this coffee as the starter of my day to have an amazing day going forward. And so it is, right? And love, 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 just blessing it with love. Like this is literally a power of how we can use our mind, our thought, our intentions, and our beliefs to make things most loving. And so that's something that I would do, number 1. That makes a really big difference. Intention. Never underestimate the power of intention, I'm telling you. So that's number 1. Number 2 is always buy organic. Okay, and I'm not like this like organic nerd that's like you have to buy everything organic or no, there was a long time where I didn't buy anything organic because it was way too expensive. Slowly I started to just get like the most sprayed crops as organic, but like coffee beans themselves are one of the most sprayed crops on the planet. Okay, so buying organic coffee is something that is really, really important. I get a different coffee now, but before I got this coffee, I would go to Costco and I would get the Organics brand, and it was like the rainforest brand. You can see the rainforest on it, and their whole motto is like, when you drink a cup, you're contributing to saving the rainforest. Cool. That's another intention, a part of like blessing my environment with the food dollars that I have, right? So that's something that I always lean to. Make sure it's organic. Yeah, it's a little bit more, but it's the mentality of like you're going to be paying a little bit more at the beginning, but then you're saving in your health in the end. So it really is worth it. So that's number 2. Always buy organic. Number 3 is to reduce the sugar intake, right? As much as you can to reduce the sugar intake. Only now with the coffee that I found do I love black coffee. Prior to that, it was so hard for me. But there are different options. One of them is MCT oil that I recommend all the time. That's also something that's phenomenal to put in your coffee to help break your fast and to provide your brain with the nutrients and the energy that it needs to start your day. So MCT oil is powerful. It's really good. Number 2, I use like a hazelnut non-dairy creamer. It's from the brand Silk. But I think everybody in my city is caught on. So like I've told everybody, I feel, and as soon as like, it's like gone now. It's like hard to find because everybody's getting it all the time. But hazelnut is the number 1 kind that I get. It's really, really good. Or I will do sometimes a raw honey. So I'll just do like a teaspoon or two of the raw honey, and that's also like medicinal, so it's really good. Or just like cinnamon, right? Cinnamon also helps with the delicious factor of the coffee, and it'll help us to get off the sugar train. So a lot of the times you will notice that if you want to keep coffee in, but you're wanting to reduce the sugar, that it then becomes also the quality of the coffee that you get makes a really big difference, because shitty coffee is shitty coffee, and you're really only drinking the cream sugar. Like, that's what you're drinking, right? So we want to have a high quality coffee and really enjoy it. So the fourth one, there's only 5 of these. So the fourth one is to drink it with filtered water, right? We have a filter that is like an alkaline water filter. So that also makes a really big difference as well. And I have links to this stuff on the blog that I wrote, and the blog is above. The links are above, and I have links to everything I'm talking about today. Like, filtering your water is really important, because if you're just using tap water, then you're getting the chlorine, you're getting all the whatever junk is in the tap water into your coffee, and then you're taking that in, right? So an alkaline water system I would really recommend, because coffee can also be acidic. And then if you use alkaline water, that helps to take care of that problem as well. So that's really helpful. And then the last thing, step number 5 of how to make a healthy coffee or coffee healthy, is to add in superfoods. This is like a big motto of mine. It's a really big thread throughout my kitchen alchemy course. I talk more about adding things in than taking things away, because we're not about depriving you, we're about nourishing you. And when you get more superfoods and like healthy, nourishing, colorful fruits and vegetables and foods into your body's going to crave more healthy foods. And that's what we want to have happen here. So when I think about my coffee, I ask, how can I make this as nutrient dense as possible? One of the things that I do is I put in like a maca powder. A maca powder is like a root. It's almost like a root vegetable that's ground up, but it almost has like a sweet little bit of behind it that is really, really good in this. And so I'll use maca powder sometimes. Sometimes I'll put in a little bit of turmeric, or like I already mentioned, a little bit of honey, and you just a little tiny sprinkle, like just boosts up the goodness that you're ingesting. Something that I do a lot, and I have done in the past a lot, is brew some like chaga tea, which is another immune boosting antioxidant. It's like a mushroom. It is a mushroom. And then I would add that in with cinnamon and cloves and add that into my coffee, but it just kind of took too long for me personally. And then, because I've been in this zone of like, God, how can I have the most nutrient dense coffee ever? He sent me my answer. And this is part of what jazzed me up to want to talk about coffee today, because it's something that's been going in my mind a lot, right? I mean, coffee is, like I mentioned at the beginning, been an intricate part of my life. Like, I absolutely love coffee. So I don't necessarily want to give it up. I just want to make it most healthy. So this is what happened. What happened is, have you guys, who here has heard of like reishi or Ganoderma? It is also, it's called like the queen mushroom, whereas chaga, like I just mentioned, is called like the king mushroom. And it does not taste like mushroom at all whatsoever. In fact, having reishi or chaga in my coffee makes it taste that much better, because again, it moves into the alkaline state, into the acidic state. But just for those who may not know, I'm going to see, no, you guys didn't say you know. Just so for those who may not know, in Ganoderma or reishi mushroom comes from China. That's where it originated. And you will see like statues in China of these like kings, like holding a giant mushroom of Ganoderma, and it is seen over there as being like fit for the gods, right? Like, that's what they say. It's reserved for the royals. And the mushroom is called like the mushroom of immortality. And so the whole point is to like help like boost like vitality and your again, boosting your immune system. And a lot of people who are taking it are like healing faster from like, let's say, chemotherapy. It really is called like an anti-cancer, antifungal, just like a powerful healing mushroom. And if we think about it, like, nature gives us everything. It has given us everything for our health. Nature always provides. We just have to learn how to use it properly. So to me, this is like a simple way to get the benefits of nature into our body, even through our coffee. And it will also, you know, with this idea of talking about before that coffee for those who are anxious, it's probably not the best idea. When you have something like a reishi coffee, the reishi itself literally works with the neurotransmitters in your brain, and it helps shift your energy from anxious to calm. So this is also like a happy medium where it will help us to find the calm even when we have a coffee. So it's like like a miracle for me. So I've been drinking this coffee for the last 2 months and I'm obsessed. I absolutely love it so much. So let me just show you what it looks like. It's called Oregano. I have links to this up above. I can also send you links personally if you have more questions and you're interested. But it literally comes like this. This is also why I love it, because you don't have to make a whole pot of coffee, which is what I used to do. And then I would be called to like have a second or whatever. Now what I do is I just boil the kettle. And I can make a tea if I want, or I can make a coffee if I want, and it comes in little packages like this. And then I open that up. This is the only thing that I've ever had black that I absolutely love. Absolutely love. Taste-wise, feel-wise, and as soon as you try it, it's life-changing. You know there's something in there that's blessing your body, right? And it's not just like taking away, like as if like regular coffee without the added superfoods and with the added cream and sugar, it depletes the body. It dehydrates the body, whereas something like this nourishes the body, it hydrates the body, and it gives the brain what it needs to also be optimally focused and functioning. So this is where I look to things. So this is how we break it down. Is coffee healthy? Yes. Right? For the most part, yes. Is it for everybody? No. Do you have to do it in a specific way to make sure you have optimal health benefits? Yes. But that's like with everything. That's like with how we cook. That's like with the thoughts that we think. We really have to make sure that we are aligning things with like, what is this for me? So, yeah, guys, that's like the breakdown of what I wanted to go through with you guys today. After you've heard this, like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, how does coffee interact in your body? How does it make you feel? Do you have a coffee every day or not? You know, because I would really love to know, and especially being like a mom, like it's really enjoyable to be like, I have these few moments to sit down and enjoy my coffee in peace. Maybe she's crawling all over me, but at least I have this moment, right? So I personally really love it. And, you know, I'll have tea sometimes in the evening, but coffee is my jam. It's just like part of who I am. Hey, Robin, is that an instant coffee? Is it dehydrated? Great question. It is like an instant coffee. So you literally boil the hot kettle, pour it over top of this, stir it with your spoon, and you're done, right? So to me also, it's also super quick. Which is helpful. And it's an instant coffee, but it's an organic coffee, and it's well sourced and it's well loved. I know who it comes from. I also know the people at the top, just like the way that the universe brings you people. Like, these people were brought to me. And it was actually funny because it was, I met the people, they were brought to me, they were already in my circle of like curiosity. And then at Ella's birthday, my dad came by with a box of this and was like, here, you gotta try it. I'm like, oh, you did it good, right? So I got to try it myself, and I won't ever tell you guys about something unless I've tried it and I absolutely love it on every level of my being. Otherwise, I just don't, right? So this is it. So I'm really excited about it. I'm excited that this is in the world and that we are able to even get something like this. Oh, and just as a thought, we did the calculations yesterday, Tom and I, and for this box, it's about 20 bucks, a little bit plus shipping. And it works out to be about like 75 cents a cup. So if you think about it, if you get like just like a Folgers from the store, it's a little expensive. But like if you think about it in, like if you're going to go to Starbucks or Tim Hortons, it's not, right? So it's worth it. Pay a little bit more now, but it's worth it. I know you love coffee. You're one of my fika friends. Robin is one of the Soul Sister friends. We're at her house with the story that I told you guys at the beginning about having fika together. So you guys are part of like my love for coffee, part of love for my life. And William, yeah, it starts your day. It almost starts my day. Like water really starts my day. And then prayer really starts my day. But about an hour to an hour and a half after I wake up, I have a coffee. So yeah, I wonder if that coffee makes whole beans as well. You know what? I haven't seen it at this point because I think that they're also, because they mix it with the reishi, right? And so the reishi is ground down to a powder. So I think in order to make sure that they have like equal amounts of reishi in each packet, that is why they put it, that's why they ground it. But I will trickle check and see if they have whole beans, because that would be really awesome as well. I like that sometimes too. But yeah, so that's it, you guys. I hope that this was helpful. Like I said, I have links above. I've got the link to my private group, which I'm still doing the food rules series, you guys, and we're going to go on our 3rd week starting tomorrow. So I'll be posting about that. And then I have the link above to my blog that just has more details of what I talked about, links to some of the articles I mentioned, and links to Oregano coffee, and some of the other things I mentioned. So I hope it was helpful. Thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. And yeah, I will see you next Thursday. Have a thankful Thursday. I love you guys. Bye.